Hey there, folks. How we doing? It's 8:46 a.m. I think it's Saturday, January 2nd, 2016. Yeah, love these phones. Um, well, sometimes when I do a video, actually when I do videos, there's a whole lot of message in there um, to hit things on different levels. It's not like I'm so smart. It's just what I am inside talking through the body. That's all. Um, It's like I continually say, all of you are so smart and intelligent and strong. When you're your true self, spirit, um, it's wild. Anyway, it's important right now that I talk with you about this. The central processing unit, or the group of the area of energy, the field of energy within spirit that actually produces the understanding, processing of data, heart. That's called a focal point. Okay, I've talked about them along for a long time now. Excuse me. There's a bunch of little souls flying around, just kind of trying to give me a hard time. They don't want this coming out. Um, Lots of times I use examples to express the information that I'm trying to put out to help understand, to help others understand it. Trying to get my point across, whatever. Um, when spirit, when the souls were first released, they came out as a wave of energy that spread out into little orbs of energy. Then each orb, once alone and separate, relaxed a little bit, then started vibrating. Different parts, frequencies of the energy went one way and then the other, and then finally it split into two. It's like a mitosis thing, but it's not an exact replication. Okay, it's becoming two different things, and then it becomes male and female. Angels don't do that; everything else does. Okay. Now, then once the souls are separate, when they first start having lives, they're one orb of energy with no focal points or anything in it. They're just going around, floating around, and uh, they're they have a base intelligence, but they need to develop, and that's why we have lives. Okay, we've been put in the bodies wrong, having lives, improper lives. That's produced improper growth, improper development, actually cancerous development, and that's being taken care of. What was doing it is gone, but now we have to fix a big mess. No problem. It's gonna happen. Anyway, so as this orb of energy, this soul, this is called the first stage of evolution of the soul. As this goes into bodies and starts having lives, when it's that small, it can fit in a body. It just, the aura comes off pretty good bit, but it still fits in a body. Um, as it has more and more lives, like about 100,000, just example, okay? Then literally it comes, when at one point when it's ready, it comes out of a body. And then, because remember, every time spirit's in a body, when it comes out, it grows a little bit, and then grows a little bit, and every time it has a life, it grows a little more. It has another life, grows a little more. It has another life, grows a little more. It'll finally get to the point where it's had enough lives. It's it's spirit. It's the energy within it, within the spirit, has actually started to develop feelings, emotions, thought process, processing data, understanding. Very important, understanding. Okay. Um, and then when it gets to the point where these little sections are getting developed, they're actually little energy fields within it. So then when it comes out of the body, it opens up, and then when it's time, it just goes poof like this, opens up, becomes much larger, but it's a larger field of energy that's softer, a little softer for the main part. That's solar plexus energy. Okay? The spirit now has a separate solar plexus energy, which is actually the main part of the whole body. And then it has a focal point for the pineal, the understanding. Okay? It has, the brain, the hypothalamus, pineal, all that. It is like what we would call a brain. Okay? And then it has another one that's heart. And then it has another one that's emotion. So it essentially has 4 energy fields, what some people might call chakras, once it evolves to that second stage of evolution. Third stage of evolution is something totally different, and we're not talking about that now. I have talked about it, though. I'm sorry, I don't know what video it was in. Excuse me. Excuse me just a minute. Okay. It's funny. Your ears, they actually start messing when you feel your ears getting funky. If you can see, that's when you might have souls trying to bug you. I actually have one talking to me right now. He's pretty cool, though. Anyway, okay, back on topic. I'm going to be doing that a lot. There's still a lot of souls. There's hundreds of thousands of souls running. Well, there's over 100,000 souls running around right now, making people's lives miserable. Some of them are really sick from having had too many hard, abusive lives and too close together. When I look at them, their energy, it almost looks like the face is contorted. It's like seeing a contorted face, just like something coming apart. It's sad. Anyway, so at that point, you have a field of energy that's, a field of spirit that's different fields of energy within it. Remember, spirit, ascension, energy. But when it starts to develop, it has a basic field that's solar plexus, and then it's got the heart for understanding and love. It's got the brain center for working with data. It can create data, but also with between the heart and the body, between the heart and the brain, that produces understanding. So when you have these two fields right there, and they usually stay pretty close together, and then you have emotions, which is still kind of nearby, but a little farther away, then you have something that is developed enough to where it's starting to understand lives. Now, the solar plexus, when you have a gut feeling about something, your gut says good or bad. Okay, when you can tap into your solar plexus really well, you can get the feeling, I'm getting no, that this is going to be a problem, and I think this is why. But the main part of the solar plexus is to give you the yes or no, the on or off information. Okay, it's data. It uses data. It doesn't produce understanding. Okay, that goes on between the heart and the hypothalamus in the brain and that area. Okay, not going into specifics other than saying hypothalamus. A good stone with that is celestite. Okay, heart, there's a lot of good ones. Red essonite is awesome, but very rare. Ruby's really good. Anyway, so that's using all your abilities to understand something. But the solar plexus is data. It's knowledge, number 8. Okay, it's like a computer can function with data really good. Man, are they awesome or what? But a computer that has feelings? Okay, no. I'm not going to go anywhere far with this. What I'm trying to say is that the solar plexus produces data. The heart and the brain work together to create understanding. A good but sad example of this right now is Lillian Ara's energy body. I'm Ara's driver, okay, the focal point that's going to run him. And then Lily has her focal point. Lily has her driver. That's going to be her focal point. Um, Lily and Ara, when the body energies came up to me and the other and Lily's driver, when he came up to us, literally, well, their words like solar plexus energy. Now they're sentient. They can think and process, but they can't understand like a focal point can. Is there understanding? Yes. Is it minimal? Yes. That's a problem. Okay, that's a big problem, especially right now. And that's one reason why when spirit gets too big, because there is such a thing, then it causes problems. And then other parts break off. And then as a focal point leaves, it hurts the understanding ability of the actual main body of spirit itself. And I'm not going into the details of how that happens, okay? Sorry. Another topic for maybe another day. The thing is that the focal point, that is the heart and everything, the heart and the brain, the real strong understanding, that's what runs the body of spirit that is within the solar plexus energy, which is the being itself, okay? Sentient, aware, but data. As my energy is I'm attached, literally, I'm attached to this part of Ara. My energy is going out, some of it comes in. My energy goes out, some of it comes in. It's weird. It'll function different with some people, but it's like it comes in here in the middle of the crown, and then it's like a circle, like a tube. It goes out this way, so it goes in, out, like that. That's what's going on. I had pretty much shut it off earlier today when I had to do some stuff with the Ara energy body. But where I'm going with this is the Ara energy body is sentient, it's alive, but without a focal point in it, it can't produce any kind of real finite understanding capabilities. It can't really come to a good decision about a lot of little things. That's a problem. Okay, but that's also why that energy body is so anxious to have its driver, because the driver goes in it and basically absorbs all that energy. It becomes part of it, but it's also the solar plexus field that goes around it. It's funny. Yeah, I'm being messed with. That's Lily's energy body. She doesn't want me talking about this. Well, that's tough. So it's not like it's defective or bad or anything like that. It just doesn't understand. It understands a little bit, and it's going to do it like Lily and Ara. Folks, that energy, that spirit is awesome. But right now we're at a time where things have certain decisions have to be made properly and fast, and they're not. There's problems. There's always problems. Okay, Lily and Ara have to come together. I've said that a few times in the past. So things are starting to come together more and more, but there's no time. The clock is ticked out. The hourglass is empty on the top. So anyway, so things have to be done. These bodies don't even belong to us anyway. They belong to the planet. It's like I said, when you have a life, it's like 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, you're at your house, relaxing, having a good time, and then Saturday morning you put on zip up a suit, and then you go take off for 2 days, come back, unzip the suit, and walk out of it, and you come back home into the house. That's what it's like. But especially energy that big, that's about to perform its job, it needs its focal points. If you take an avocado, and this is the same with all spirit, folks. If you imagine an avocado and it's got a huge seed in it, that the fruit of the fruit, so to speak, the actual main body of it, that's the solar plexus, and then that big pit in the middle, that's the like the brain and the heart together. And that's how understanding's formed. Spirit without the focal point in it, it can't function right. It's not able to. That's where the understanding comes from spirit. You think about spirit, you can't see it. I mean, not with your physical eyes. When you are just spirit without a physical body, you're in a second dimension. That's where we stay. You can look around and not only see other spirit and read it. You can look at a battery. You can watch it glow with all the beautiful. It's got all the neatest colors in that. You have no idea the colors involved in electricity and the wires going through a house and everything. It's the neatest thing. So, anyway, and if when you get so big that you actually release focal points, or they become themselves and move out, then they have to build new ones. And like for instance, for Lily and Ara, it was important that they didn't have any in them. So there's reasons for that. It has to do with all the attacking and the fighting, and that way they were left alone more by the other spirit on the other side. They weren't considered a threat because they had no focal point, so they were left alone. So it's funny, I'm seeing auras coming out of lights. Anyway, yeah, they say when people die, they see more. Yeah, because more of you's coming out of your body. So you're more aware of things on the other side. It's not like you get more psychic. You just have less body to be stuck in. And people, please, I am not at all insinuating hurt yourself and get out of your body to make yourself whole. You're in a body having a life. Please respect that. I just want to explain what's going on. That spirit cannot do what it really needs to properly unless it has its focal point in it. That's important for everyone to know. I want all of you to know where your understanding comes from when you are spirit, how you develop from the first phase of evolution of the initial soul to the second stage of evolution. That's how spirit evolves. That's how it becomes what it is today. Everyone's just had too much abuse and it's being fixed. But spirit spirit without a focal point in it, it's still beautiful, loving, and everything else, but it just doesn't understand properly. So, little bird out there. Huh. That's interesting. There's a young squirrel out there too. Anyway, sorry folks. Not really. I love all that stuff, but I'm meant to stay on topic. Which is hard for me to do, as you all know. I just want you all to know about that. Okay? And hell, I've always been here, always been around, not going anywhere. As far as being here in one form or another. Those that know me pretty well, there's two things they understand. It's my desire to do what's right for everybody. That's why I've produced so much for others, number one. And number two, my fortitude. I always do whatever it takes to make what needs to happen happen. Doesn't matter. I don't stop, and I'll do whatever I need to make things happen. But anyway, I wanted you to understand where understanding comes from when you're out of a body. In the brain, inside the body, the hypothalamus and everything, the hypothalamus is attached to the pineal. It's attached to the scanner. It's like a control point. It's a CPU, central processing unit. Okay, and then it's attached to the heart. The heart creates a feeling. The feeling goes up into the hypothalamus. It becomes understanding, goes back down into the heart, and then it goes, see, it starts going back and forth. Back and forth. So that's how the heart and the hypothalamus region of the brain, including the hypothalamus, actually produce the understanding. And that's one of the major reasons why everyone has lives, is so that your spirit can develop. But that's how it does, and that's how you become more yourself. I want you all to know about yourselves. Okay, like I've always said for years, man, y'all are so cool you don't even know. Sometimes I'll tell someone that you really don't even know who you are yet, and sometimes that seems insulting. I don't mean it like that. I mean you don't know how cool you are yet. Okay. I do the best I can to use the right words, but I can only do the best I can. And my brain, I'm doing a lot of stuff all the time. My brain doesn't function like a normal brain. I can't do what I do, especially with all the energy running through it. But I do the best I can. And what else can any of us do? And I hope right now your heart and your hypothalamus are working so you can understand what I'm trying to say. Anyway, this is just another cool part about y'all, who you really are, okay, and how it operates. And the same thing, the same energy centers are flowing when you're out of a body, because that's the real you. Now, this is real you too, but it's temporary, okay? This is the weekend. It's not the week, okay? And we all know weekends go too quick, but in body, it's more like a year versus 5 days. It can be rough, okay? It's nice when we have joy. We hold on to that because we need it. All right, folks. Well, look, love you. Take care. Just want to get that out. And there's things coming soon. I'm not saying it's right now or the next thing, but I keep seeing this thing where the poor gorilla is finally going home. You're going to see a lot of animals going home, like eventually all of them. Anyway, love you all, man. Take care, and I hope that helps a few people understand where your understanding comes from, not just in a body, but when you're out of a body is spirit, plus the most important reason why you go into a body. This is how you grow. This is how you evolve. Like I said, y'all are cool. But it's time that you had more access to what's going on. So I leave you the information, and then y'all just start evolving and seeing for yourselves. And gut feeling is data. Try to trust it. Okay? I'm not saying it's bad data, it's data. And then you use your other focal points, fields within your body. They're separate energy focal points, but it's, I got to be careful how I use the word focal points right now. So that's how you literally understand things. You have data, which you use to understand, and then when you understand the data, then you have an understanding, and then the more understandings you have, the more wisdom you have. So, an open mind and an open heart is the way to make this happen faster. Okay? Happy awakening, folks. Love you. See you later.